All right, so if you guys saw the last Cobra video, then you know that the engine is kind of locked up, but we are gonna try and free it up and get it running. This fuel tank has a little hole that can totally be repaired, but Mustang parts are cheap. This is only $140 for a new tank, so we're gonna install that. We have a working fuel pump as well. Right, guys, it's been about 5 days since we put in our concoction of transmission fluid and penetrating oil into the cylinders, and I was kind of thinking that maybe that would have broken the rings free, but it won't. I'm using a little guy because I don't actually want it to spin unless it's gonna spin naturally and kind of easily. We could force it with a breaker bar, but we don't wanna break the rings. And this ain't happening. With all the plugs out, I should be able to spin this because I work out like constantly, like 4 hours a day for the last 20 years I've been working out. So these guns could definitely spin the motor, and it's not happening right now. All right, so with that, let us suck out some fluid. All right, here we go. This is the trans fluid and penetrating oil getting sucked out right in front of our eyes. It's almost gone, and what in the world is this stuff in the cylinder? What is that, a chunk of something? Oh man. After sucking out our transmission fluid and penetrating oil from all the cylinders, this is what we're left with, and we gotta dump it out. I'm excited and a little scared of what we're gonna find in here. Okay, no valves or chunks of piston yet. Not that they would get sucked up in that little tube. What is in this engine? Yeah, I mean, that's just kind of like carbon and stuff. All right, so we're gonna figure out what is in that cylinder a little later. I wanna get this stuff in there so it can get in and work its magic. We found this stuff called evaporust. And basically, this is supposed to break up rusted parts. Now, I'm gonna warn you guys right now that no, this isn't gonna fix a rusted engine where the rings are frozen to the cylinder for 20 years. I mean, no matter what, if we get this to break free, the engine is still damaged and probably won't last long. So warning right there, but this is an experiment. We're having fun, and it says it works for your carro or ferentiera utensilios de Cochina Antiguendianas. Anyway, Evaporust works on basically everything, including dual overhead cam Cobra motors. And all we gotta do is pour it right in. And this stuff has the consistency of water. We are gonna fill these bad boys all the way up. Let's take a look at this cylinder. Oh, there it is. There's our Evaporust. And it is flowing. It's evaporusting and removing a rust. Let's dunk the camera in here. I wonder, camera versus Evaporust. Last time we used the borescope, maybe, we're in water. Look at that, this is so cool. It's a magical world of evaporust. This camera is sweet. Look at this, guys. We are literally under evaporust going towards the piston, the alien planet. Very nice, and let's come on out. Woo. Okay, we can't see anything now. Oh man, if we do get this engine running, we are definitely gonna try and do a burnout with these tires. Except they're so bad, they might pop, I don't know. But while that stuff is sitting in the cylinders, because we want it to sit overnight, let's put this fuel tank in. All right, we're gonna start with the last part we need to take off of this old tank. Get out of here. There we go. Look at this little vent. It's in good shape too. Getting it out was kind of easy. Getting it in looks impossible. Yeah. All right, little silicone spray on the grommet. Bam. Go to your home, young fella. There you go. All right, new square cut O-ring. Brand new fuel sending unit. I just can't believe how inexpensive the parts still are for this car. I mean, probably not the engine, but this kind of stuff, it's cheap. Let's see if I can muscle this on. No. Click, torqued. All right, so this fuel sending unit was like $12 or something. So everything in the fuel system so far has been really, really cheap, except now we have to fill this thing with really expensive Chicago premium fuel, which is not cheap. Okay, we'll really clean this guy up here on the sealing surface where the O-ring is gonna go. All right, we're going back together like that, so it sits in its little sump. And I think these were kind of facing that way. Yeah, there we go. See how it's in its little sump right there? So when the fuel sloshes around, it still gets its fuel. I'm literally using the camera right now to see what I'm doing. All right, last piece of the fuel tank puzzle is we're replacing this seal right here. A little silicone spray. All right, there she goes. Let's clean up the tank protector. because race car? This is where bolts come out of the womb. This was the bolt womb. All right, let's get some satisfaction-y goodness here. Oh, 17,000 mile Cobra, looking more like a 17,000 mile Cobra. Wow. All right, so we went from nastiness underneath here where the fuel tank sits to absolute beauty. Look at this. Now that is a 17,000 mile Cobra. Although the solid rear axle spider webs and rotted out tires, that's not indicative of a 17,000 mile Cobra. This is what happens when you get too excited about turning an engine over. Something else we found that's kind of improper is this braided hose shouldn't be held in with a clamp, but it is. It worked for this long, so we're not gonna reinvent the wheel here. We don't even know if the engine spins. This is not very good. Is that really it? I think on the mod list, this was some kind of aftermarket thing. We gotta get it way more in there, but it doesn't seem possible. I wonder if they cut it out. Huh. Silicone spray. Oh, never mind. That's easy. Okay. All right, that's good. Okay, here we go. All right, new fuel tank is done, and we do have a new fuel filter for this thing as well. All right, so we found a replacement fuel filter for this guy, although this one was very specific. Look, it's got an address on there, Kingsler fuel injection. This is probably a nice filter. All right, so we're gonna spin the fuel filter onto the line because none of this spins. Gotta spin something. Oh, tighten her up. And then I reckon that this spins. I don't know, people, I didn't build the car, okay? Give me a break. In the last video, we powered up the fuel pump. It kind of spat out the last of the old fuel that was in it. And it sounds really healthy, so we should be good. All right, let's get some fuel in this guy. That's how you open it. All right, so we got our 5 gallons of 93 octane going in our new fuel tank. All right, guys, it is the next day, and it was very difficult to even leave the shop and then sleep because I want to know if it's gonna turn and fire, but we had to let that magical Rust-Oleum or Rust, what is it called? We had to let that work. Anyway, let's get a gigantic breaker bar on this crank and actually give it some brute force. We've done our due diligence here. We have attempted to break free these cylinders, and now we're just gonna give it some muscle with the breaker bar. And again, we're playing with house money here, people, because I just assume this engine is destroyed anyway. Oh, that bolt is just tightening. Wow. Oh man. All right, we ran out of room up top, and we have a ton of room here, so. Come on, baby. No, it's not turning, the bolt is. Oh yeah. Yeah, no, that thing is not budging at all. Oh no. All right, guys, this bolt is turning. We don't want to snap the bolt, then we're kind of like dead in the water. Huh, we could just, I mean, at this point, we could just use the starter. I mean, this engine is locked up. Maybe if I just kind of do one of these, I can shake the rings loose. Shake, shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake. Shake your rings. Shake your rings. Ow! I have my slightly longer torque wrench on here. It's at 400 foot-pounds right now. I don't know if I can get that to click. I'm not going full strength, obviously. I would have broken the bolt in half in 2 seconds. All right, let's hit the starter and do this at the same time. Don't do anything we do at home, people, okay? I'm just gonna blanket statement. We're gonna try something weird. You've never seen this before. I've never done it before. All right, here we go. It's moving. I mean, not a lot. Oh yeah. All right, we're gonna give it a couple more bumps and then boroscope. Oh man, guys, I don't know if you can hear this, but we can hear the fluid. Okay, let's boroscope. Before we get, I mean, I want to just hold this button right now and just give it max power, but only Max can give us max power. All right, let's boroscope. We're gonna check out that piston that looked to have some funky stuff on it. Oh, that one is up all the way, so we know it's moved. Wow, what is this thing though? That's like right in our face. It looks like a valve. What? We can literally, I'm poking it with the camera right now. What is that? That's a valve, right? Oh man. All right, guys, here It is. My little camera about to sacrifice its life. Max, are you ready? Just a quick, not a max bump.
Hold it for like 30 seconds.
A minor bump.
Got it.
Okay, go for it. Oh, that's not moving normal. All right, Max, another one. Keep going. More. Hold it for like 1 second. Okay. Huh. That valve's not in the best of shape. Let's look at some other ones. All right, this one's kind of hard to really tell what's going on. Okay. Oh, that's not good. What in the world? Whatever that was should be somewhere in here. Oh man, this engine is in bad shape. I mean, this honestly though makes the most sense. We got to look into all these other cylinders at this point, see what else we can find. Is that a valve down there hitting the piston? That is a valve. Okay, well, this one looks okay. Let's go to the other side. All right, here's another one. I don't know what these little things are. This could just be little clean spots in the carbon or those chunks of metal. Those are kind of chunky. Okay, next. I love boroscoping engines, especially kind of destroyed engines like this. What else? It looks too normal. Oh, look at that valve is like properly open. Look at that. You can kind of see the valve. Wow, but look at this thing. Yeah, we still have the evaporust in here. Okay, last one, people. Yeah, this piston's up pretty high. Can't really see anything. We're back in this really bad one. Let's give it a couple more clicks with the starter. Kind of try holding it for like a second. Yeah, this thing is locked up again. It's even more locked up now. Wow, so we really only turned it a little bit. Go. Oh, okay. All right, let's give it one more backwards spin for the kids, all right? Not all heroes wear capes or something. There we go. Yeah, that's all she wrote, folks. We need a new engine, and it's not like we've never been here before. All right, you know we gotta take this valve cover off and look inside of this engine a little bit more. Goodbye, intake tube. Get out of my way. You guys ever work on something and you're just so excited to look at it or get in somewhere that it's like, move, people. Come on, harness, get out. There we go. And we were gonna disconnect this guy anyway to prime the fuel system and just kind of flush out the lines and everything, but I mean, that doesn't really matter now. But since we'll inevitably need a new motor, we'll just leave this disconnected. And by motor, I mean engine, because motors are electric. Man, long live the LS. I mean, this was a nightmare. This whole engine was just a gigantic failure. Not only did Ford lie about its horsepower rating and had to issue a recall because it didn't make that much power, and they were so ashamed that they didn't make a 2000 Cobra because of that. Not only that, but it's hard to work on. I mean, just the LS, man. Just come on now. There's no comparison. And I like Fords. I got a Lightning and a Mustang. I'm kind of a Ford. I'm like, you know how people break down their ethnicities? I'm like 12% Ford. Don't want that to fall in. All right. Wow, this is not fun. This throttle body's gonna totally get in the way. I don't have time to find proper tools. Let's see carnage. To take the throttle body off, to take the valve cover off. Jeez, this is ridiculous. I will not spend time getting the right tools. We'll clean up for the next car. Oh, come on. Almost there. Oh, now this sensor's getting in the way. This is horrible. Okay. Okay. Whoa. What do we got? All right, so we had to get the boroscope back out because this is the only way to get a good look at this. So that's the spring and the valve in question. Yeah, I don't really see anything wrong with it right off the bat. I was kind of expecting to see maybe a broken spring or something, but yeah, everything looks okay. There it is from another angle. Does anything look broken in here? Yeah, everything looks intact and normal here. Yeah, the valve maybe just got stuck in there, I'm not sure. It doesn't have head studs though. I think these are aftermarket head bolts though, but. All right, well, no smoking gun here. We have our smoking gun right here, and I suspect there's more than one smoking gun because this piston's on the way down and we can't get this thing to spin anymore. All right, so everything from up top looks fine. Obviously this engine has major issues and is a bad engine that needs to be replaced, but when we do replace the engine, we will have this out, and that means it's going on a stand, and we are ripping it apart to see exactly what failed. Comment down below what you think happened to this poor Cobra engine. Maybe it was karma from Ford lying about its power. Ford, you listening? We're watching you. No more lies.